Starsky and Hutch was the ultimate 70s cop show. It followed two plainclothes policemen, Detective Dave Starsky and Detective Ken Hutch Hutchinson.
I'm Hutch. He's Starsky.
The series had everything you'd want from a primetime police show of that era. Rooftop chases, sliding over cars, an angry captain,
Boom! Get out of here!
and homoerotic buddy cop action. Yes, the show had everything. Everything except a spin-off. But that wasn't for lack of trying. A Huggy Bear spin-off was attempted during season 2.
Give it a try.
Not only was it considered one of the worst episodes of Starsky and Hutch, it's the type of TV episode you could never make today.
When do the new Cadillacs come in?
Find out what happened on Behind the Backdoor Pilot, Starsky and Hutch.
You gotta have faith, Turk, baby.
Starsky and Hutch is more than just the source material for a Ben Stiller Owen Wilson movie.
Come on, give me keys.
The 1975 cop show ran on ABC for 4 seasons. When Starsky and Hutch first premiered, it was considered a groundbreaking, gritty series. But by the 3rd season, the network wanted to tone down some of the graphic violence.
You're not vigilantes. You can't go running rampant on these suspects just because you got a personal feeling.
So episodes featured romantic stories, social issues, and the occasional plot line about voodoo.
Oh, it's going to be a very long night for our policeman friends.
At its core, the show was about friendship. No, really, they were just friends. Like David Soul once sang, "Don't give up on us, baby." It's a classic buddy cop formula. Two street-smart detectives go undercover in pursuit of the bad guys.
The thing interesting about Starsky and Hutch was that on one hand it was a big wink, and on the other hand it was a very real relationship between two people.
The characters were based on a pair of real-life police officers, Lou Telano and John Sepe. And the characters' camaraderie was unique for a cop show. Starsky and Hutch inspired crime-fighting duos like the ones on Chips and Miami Vice. Fun fact, before he produced Miami Vice, Michael Mann wrote for Starsky and Hutch. The show became a hit, making stars of David Soul and Paul Michael Glaser.
Fix my mirror, will you? Yeah.
And it made the Ford Gran Torino the coolest car on TV. But the show's secret weapon was a lovable informant named Huggy Bear.
Never fear, Huggy, the voodoo man is here.
Huggy Bear was played by Antonio Fargas, a charismatic character actor who'd been in movies like Shaft and Car Wash. Or you might know him as Fly Guy from Keenan Ivory Wayans' I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Name of this piece is called My Bitch Better Have My Money.
Fargas made Huggy Bear a fan favorite. He was one of the best things about Starsky and Hutch.
For $7.50, you get your complete vampire protection kit. Hammer and stake for finishing off the old dude.
One of the show's running gags was that Huggy always had some money-making scheme.
Mouse racing?
Well, just a friendly game of chance amongst friends.
Huggy was a pioneer of what we now call the side hustle. And season 2 introduced his most ambitious hustle of all, a backdoor pilot.
Just leave everything to us.
Our story begins when two thugs are shaking down a small business.
Should have thought about that before you tried holding out on Stan Watson.
Surprise, sucker.
This is a bust.
Watch your hands, clown. I ain't that kind of girl.
Wow, did this episode inspire the ending of Nighthawks? Later, during the arrest, a citizen cries for help.
Remember me, Foxy Baker?
Hiya, Foxy.
My husband, Walter T.
Come on now,
He's been missing for 3 days.
Look, go see a guy by the name of Huggy and the Turk.
Huggy and Turk.
That's right. Instead of helping a woman in need, the cops just farmed out some freelance work.
You got a live one. The lady's name is Foxy Baker, and she says she was sent by Starsky Hutch.
Say hello to your new main characters, Huggy Bear and the Turkey.
Turkey? That's Turkette. And it's me.
That's right, Huggy Bear started his own detective agency. And he's gone into business with a character who's never even been mentioned before.
It's Turk!
J.D. Turkette, a.k.a. Turkey.
How did a redneck clod kicker like you learn how to throw darts that good?
Fair question. Here's another one. How did Huggy Bear, a streetwise informant from California, team up with this white guy from the South? We never find out.
With $30,000 on the line, we'll find a way.
Now, typically in these kinds of pairings, when a black guy teams up with a white guy, they're forced to work together, and they begrudgingly put aside their differences to solve a crime. But here, it's like the characters just accept the premise. Like they know the plot requires an unlikely pairing. The plot would require even more racially charged moments, reminding modern viewers that TV has changed a lot since 1976.
I got a feeling I'm gonna regret this.
So Huggy Bear and Turkey take the case of the missing husband.
You always did look like a black Bugs Bunny.
Soon the turkey and the bear are on a wild goose chase. Our heroes need to get information from a blind psychic.
Blind Bessie, woman who gets her racing tips direct from the spirit world.
Blind Bessie is played by LaWanda Page from Sanford & Son. Now Bessie has the information they need, but there's a problem.
Bessie's not too partial to honkies.
If only there was a way to convince the blind woman that Turkey isn't white.
She don't know you're white. She just heard I had a partner, so she set 3 plates for dinner and she wants you to come up.
Oh no.
I can't do it.
Warning, he's gonna do it.
You know, I can't sound black any more than you can sound like Laurence Olivier.
The Prime Minister was mugged by a Negro in Chicago, and the Queen went bananas.
Yeah, the 70s really were a different time. But don't take my word for it. Just watch Silver Streak.
I can't pass for black.
Another 70s comedy featuring an interracial duo with jokes that might have influenced this episode.
Needs work, George. Needs a lot of work. You know that. Will you practice?
Plus, there was a whole Southern renaissance with movies like Smokey and the Bandit and TV shows like The Dukes of Hazzard, celebrating good old boys. So maybe this is a riff on that fad. And 2 years before this episode aired, Blazing Saddles was the second highest grossing movie in America.
Hey, the sheriff is near. What are you saying? The sheriff is near.
Network TV wanted to try that racial humor.
Yeah, Whitey.
There was even an attempt to make a sitcom out of Blazing Saddles, but we'll save that for another video. The point is, in the 1970s, TV shows were pushing the envelope with racial material. Sometimes it was a sitcom trying to make social commentary. And sometimes it was a white guy trying to sound black.
When does the new Cadillacs come in?
Just say it blacker.
Oh, tell me, when do the new Cadillac come in?
Blacker.
Tell me, when do the new Cadillac come in, or I'm gonna cut you, sucker!
I think you got it.
Turn it off!
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Sadly, there was no commercial break coming. Audiences just had to keep watching as Turkey and Huggy Bear visited blind Bessie.
I want to know who and what you are, so say something.
When do the new Cadillacs come in?
So they said.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Oh, but there's more, Bessie.
Start talking, Leroy.
You like soul food, don't you, boy?
Oh, Lawsy. Yes, I just love my chitlins and hush puppies.
Oh, it's like watching an interview with Quentin Tarantino.
I think probably the most famous line is, "I'm gonna get medieval on your ass."
Eventually, this scene does come to an end. Thank God.
You knew I wasn't black all along?
You think I don't know a good old boy from a soul brother?
That's right, the impression didn't work. In more ways than one. There's a lot that doesn't work in this pilot, but there are some good elements. The locations include the Bradbury Building from Blade Runner. There's an appearance by character actor R.G. Armstrong.
Cross me. You'd wish you'd never been born.
Very Blue Velvet.
Baby wants to fuck.
And his character reveals Huggy Bear's last name is Brown.
Brown. You're black.
And one of the crooks is played by Blackie Dammit, a.k.a. John Kiedis, the father of Red Hot Chili Peppers' Anthony Kiedis. There's a mobster reading a book titled The Art of Liking Yourself. Not a brilliant joke, but I'll take what I can get. That gangster was played by Richard Romanus, who you might recognize from The Sopranos.
What are you somehow implying by all this? I'm ashamed to be an Italian American?
There's a scene at an old amusement park, just like on Scooby-Doo. And this episode was directed by Claude Ennis-Starrett. I don't expect you to know who that is.
Hey, you got 3 seconds before I break your face in.
Starrett was an actor best known for torturing Stallone in First Blood. And hey, he's also the old drunk in Blazing Saddles.
And no sidewinding, bushwhacking, hornswoggling, crocker is gonna roll my biscuit cutter.
But he was also a director. His credits include everything from Planet of the Apes, the TV show, to movies like Cleopatra Jones and Race with the Devil, one of my all-time favorite cult movies. It's literally about a cult. Given his background in exploitation cinema and episodic television, Starrett seemed like the right guy to direct this pilot. But it just never comes together.
Maybe he don't like interracial couples.
The episode was written by Ron Friedman, and no, I don't expect you to know who that is either. Friedman would go on to write for animation, with credits including Transformers and G.I. Joe. And honestly, the tone for this episode would have worked better as a cartoon.
Bugs Bunny.
Either way, Friedman might be the only person to have written for Huggy Bear and Optimus Prime. Like a lot of Backdoor Pilots, this episode is disappointing because we barely see the main characters. You'd expect to see more of Starsky and Hutch on a show called Starsky and Hutch.
Would somebody mind telling us what the hell's going on?
Halfway through the episode, Turkey calls Starsky and Hutch, who are working undercover.
Tyrone, phone.
And Turkey gets the brush off.
Can you guys get over here right away?
We're really kind of busy right now. And stay off this line.
Yes, the cop as hairdresser is another detail that does not stand the test of time.
It's very shampoo of you.
Total compliment.
Fun fact, in 1976, the male hairdresser trope might have been inspired by the movie Shampoo, where Warren Beatty played a sexy hairstylist. Beatty's character in the movie was based on a real-life hairdresser, John Peters. And John Peters was also dramatized by Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza.
Barbra Streisand.
Sand.
Yeah, like sands. Like the ocean. Like
Barbra Streisand?
No, like Streisand.
Sand.
Streisand.
Of course, my favorite male hairdresser from the 1970s is Vincent Price.
Hello. I'm Butch.
Back to the Backdoor Pilot. The story concludes with a rooftop chase and a shootout. Looks like this could be the end for Huggy Bear and the turkey.
So much for the Alamo.
And then
Get him!
Starsky and Hutch come and save the day.
Tennis, anyone?
I guess the writers need them to save this half-baked episode. In the epilogue, Starsky offers his review of this Backdoor Pilot.
You know, gotta hand it to you guys. You did a pretty good job.
And like in a lot of Backdoor Pilots, it ends with the promise of future adventures.
But most of the time, we'll be up to our ears in industrial espionage and diamond heists.
Why does this sound so familiar?
Chief Wiggum, I can't wait to hear about all the exciting, sexy adventures you're sure to have against his colorful backdrop.
Of course, Huggy Bear and Turkey never had any other adventures. The following week, Huggy Bear was back to his usual tricks.
I can see you're a man of refinement and taste.
And no one ever mentions the turkey again.
Bye.
It's easy to see why this didn't become a series. In the book Unsold TV Pilots, author Lee Goldberg notes that the pilot went nowhere, and fans hated the episode.
Tell me, when do the new Cadillac for me?
The Backdoor Pilot aired during February sweeps and was the lowest rated episode of Starsky and Hutch. It ranks as one of the worst entries in the series. You can understand why people are down on it. The action scenes are clumsy. The car chases feel forced.
Foxy Baker, and we gonna die!
The racial stereotypes are insensitive. Warning, this wouldn't be the last time the show was problematic. Like in the voodoo episode.
Somebody bats on the wedding bell. Somebody bats on the wedding bell. Somebody bats on the wedding bell.
Glad they didn't include that in the Ben Stiller remake.
Okay. Do it. Do it.
Anyway, let's get back to why the spinoff failed. The biggest problem is the lack of chemistry between Huggy Bear and Turkey. Antonio Fargas is great on his own, but his co-star can't keep up.
Everybody has got something that they're good at.
Actor Dale Robinette is good at looking like a blonde Chevy Chase. Fun fact, 7 months after this episode aired, Dale Robinette appeared in another Backdoor Pilot on The Bionic Woman. He played a forest ranger who was Jamie Summers' ex-boyfriend. The premise for that show was that he'd solve crimes with Max, the bionic dog.
That's the idea.
Spoiler alert, that project didn't go to series either. Robinette stopped acting and became a professional photographer. He shot still photos for movies like La La Land and The Avengers.
Don't you trust me?
Antonio Fargas continued to work as a character actor. In 2018, he reprised his signature role in the French mystery series, Sharif.
But it's me, the real Huggy Bear.
Starsky and Hutch's iconic car went on to star in a Clint Eastwood movie.
I put the steering column in this Gran Torino in 1972, right on the line.
We've already mentioned Starsky and Hutch the movie, where Huggy Bear is played by Snoop Dogg.
I know some people that rob some people.
In 2003, Starsky and Hutch, the intellectual property, became a video game.
Watch the scenery, Starsky. What? Hey!
In 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn was attached to a new Starsky and Hutch series for Amazon. It never happened, but that hasn't stopped Hollywood from trying to update the franchise. Fox is currently developing a Starsky and Hutch remake about a pair of female detectives. Maybe that means there will be a gender-swapped reboot for Huggy Bear and the Turkey.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Atomic Abe channel and hit that bell to be notified about our new videos. And check out more videos in our Backdoor Pilot series, like the episode of Chips that tried to launch a spin-off about ninja cops. Warning, that episode also had some really dated material.
I am known as Yin of Yang, thank you.
Terrific.